In the UK, using the internet to download music and films for free isn't uncommon, and over the past few years the debate's continued on how best to deal with those who effectively steal copyright material in this way. Some internet service providers in the UK currently go as far as to write to offending customers. They send them a letter warning them to stop downloading the material, but none of the ISPs take direct action by disconnecting offenders. None, that is, except for Karoo, the internet service provider based in Hull. They're run by Kingston Communications. Karoo is the only choice for most people who want broadband in the city. Karoo's been cutting off broadband customers who are accused of this activity, as Nick Thompson, the Director of Consumer and Publishing Services at Kingston Communications, explains.
We suspend the service and we contact the customer and ask them to sign an undertaking that they won't carry out this activity again. And where that letter or undertaking is signed, then we restore the service within 24 hours. I think it's the responsible approach, because what we're doing is we are protecting people from illegal activity. But obviously we constantly review our processes and look to perform in the areas of best practice, and so we're always looking at the way in which we address these issues.
Okay, let's put this story into some sort of context. We're joined by the BBC's technology correspondent, Rory Teflon-Jones. Rory, this seems fair enough, actually, so what's unusual about what Karoo are doing here?
Well, morning. It's extremely unusual. There's been a long, ongoing battle, really, between the music industry and the internet industry, the internet service providers like Karoo. The music industry would like tougher action from those internet providers against people who do this, who swap music online for free illegally. And most internet service providers, in fact, all of them except Karoo, as far as I can see, have been very reluctant to take action, and none has certainly gone as far as actually cutting people off.
Okay, but there must be the same kind of pressure on all internet service providers. I wonder what sort of pressures are we talking about to police these kind of downloads?
Well, there was a whole debate about this in the run-up to the government's Digital Britain document a month or so back, in which the music industry wanted the government to force the internet industry to act, and the internet providers, people like, for instance, TalkTalk, run by Carphone Warehouse, they said, no way are we going to police the internet? That's not our job. We can't go around cutting off our customers. Yes, okay, if you come to us with legal information, then we may pass that on to consumers, but we're not going to be the internet policemen. So Karoo is definitely behaving in a different way from other internet service providers.
As we mentioned, as we queued into the item, Rory, Karoo effectively has a monopoly around some parts of Hull and bits of East Yorkshire there, and we're wondering whether or not Karoo would still have this policy if it was competing for business with a range of other internet providers.
Well, for those of us who don't live in that area, it does seem extraordinary that you don't have any choice at all when it comes to broadband. It is a ferociously competitive market outside your area. You know, there are dozens of different companies you can choose from, and customers often, you know, go on message boards and so on if they don't like the policies of one internet provider and say, right, we're all going off somewhere else. Whether or not they take up that threat's another matter. But yes, it makes it a lot easier, frankly, to set your own policies, to forge your own path if you've got no competition and you've got a whole bunch of captive customers.